There you go. Hey, everybody, I'm the Doc Bob Lee. You're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. So stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, June marks the start of Black Music Month. And what better way to kick off the month than to sit down with a music industry insider known as the dime piece of radio with illustrious radio careers and the assistant program director. She did all of that stuff. And the music director at Atlanta's V103 for over a decade. So she's down by law and she knows her way around. She'll speak about the significance of this month and highlight the music legends that have paved the way for our current stars. So please welcome to the show, Tosha. Tosha Love is in the house.
Hi,
Hey, Tosh.
Dr. Bob. I am so overjoyed to be with you. I grew up listening to you on the radio, and I'm a huge fan.
I heard you grew up in the Upper Bronx.
I grew up from White Plains, Westchester, not White Plains Road in the Bronx. However, I
Yeah,
spent some time there too.
yeah, that's the Upper Bronx.
Okay, that's well. If you want to, give me that honor for today, I'll take it.
Yeah, well, you deserve it. You've been in the business for a while, and you know a lot of the players in it, and you're still dabbling. You said.
I am. I still do a lot of voiceovers. I still do guest appearances, TV appearances. I drop a little dime any chance I get when people want to talk music, hip hop, R&B. I'm all for it.
Yeah, and they call you what, the dime dropper?
No, uh, but I can drop dimes.
There you
But
go.
no, they call me the dime piece of radio. It's a radio tag along with Tosha Love that I've had since the start of my career. When I first started in radio, doing the sound room at WRG here in Atlanta, along
Yeah,
with Chaka Zulu, who now is the CEO
yeah.
of DTP and Ludacris. So I started there.
I like that. How'd you get the name the dime piece of radio? Because you
We
can
were in the
spill some tea,
studio.
drop the dime. I was thinking in those areas like that.
I understand and I can appreciate it. Well, it was a culmination of those things, but it was, you know, when I started in radio, dime piece was the phrase for hip hop when they saw a pretty girl, or,
Right, right.
LL would say it, all the Fabulous has said it, a couple of songs about it. So basically, I just became a dime piece of radio who also, in turn, would drop a lot of the dimes in what was happening in the music industry.
Yeah, that's good. So you're doing some great things today too. What inspired you to get involved into this music game and the career that you have pursued?
Well, to be honest, Dr. Bob, you play a large part in that at BLS. When I was at White Plains High School, we had a radio station, and I would go on air during my lunch
Yeah,
break at White Plains High School. It's just the craziest thing. And of course, the signal was not as clear as it is over at BLS or,
yeah.
a major radio station, but people could hear me in the lunchroom. So I kind of fell into radio there. And then when I came to Atlanta, I started my radio career here as well. And then from there, I started working with a lot of different record labels, a lot of record artists. And that's my career in a nutshell. It's all here.
And
So
you had that,
it's been
yeah.
exciting.
And you had that New York connect. So when you go down south and different places, yo, you from New York? What part of New York you from?
Well, it does help.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, although I've been here for so many years, I've never lost my New York accent. People say it's an accent. My husband is from the South, so it gets a little challenging. Kind of like Lucy and Desi when they were talking. But no, I hope to never lose my New York sound.
So we're celebrating Black Music Month. What are some of the things that you are contributing to Black Music Month, or that you want to talk about today, or share with us?
Well, thanks for telling for bringing that up. One of the main things that I love to do during this month is visit a lot of schools, and talk, and really help educate our young folks that do want to get into the music industry.
Yeah.
We are talking about Black Music Month, which was started in 1979, right, by
Hmm.
Jimmy Carter, because he used to go to all the music festivals or throw the music festivals, co-sign on them, but he never made it something just so big and never gave it a proclamation, never made it official. But thanks to Diana Williams now, who was really the champion for Black Music Month, she was able to get a proclamation signed in 2000 by Bill Clinton. And
Uh-huh.
we've been celebrating it ever since, from Barack Obama, our President Barack Obama. Let me make sure that I make that clear. President Barack Obama, who came in and embraced Black Music Month by having several um, music concerts by Black artists come to the White House. So, and then since then, it's just been so many celebrations. And I wish I was home in Harlem, because I can imagine from the Bronx down, I can just imagine the music festivals that are going to be happening this summer.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We're going to be all over the place. So you mentioned going into the schools. So you'll be visiting schools throughout the tri-state area?
Actually, here in Atlanta, we have a lot of different music programs at schools. So I will go in, and the
Uh-huh.
music teachers will ask me to come in to speak to the schools about the music industry. I also sat on the board of the Recording Academy here for the Grammys in Atlanta. They also have a Grammy program that goes into the schools. So there's
Yeah.
a lot of different events where we work to get students motivated and to really embrace the music arts.
Yeah. And the name of the organization you're working under is what? You're taking that organization into the schools and creating the awareness of Black Music Month?
Right. So there are different organizations that are already established, such as the Recording Academy. For the Atlanta chapter, they go into the schools. They will ask me, along with several recording artists, to go in and speak on different panels. In the past, I've spoken on panels with the wonderful, great Jermaine Dupri, as well as a number of music artists here in the Atlanta area.
Yeah.
And then a lot of recording studios will have events where they will celebrate the month as well.
Yeah. I heard that you may have had some dealings with the King of Pop. Is that right?
I want to tell you yes. However, I have more so had dealings with Janet Jackson more so than Michael himself, but it's royalty, right?
Yeah, I mean it's
So,
all connected. Yeah, it's all connected.
yeah, yeah, I've had the opportunity to speak to her, to play her music exclusively, to have an event for her with some of our listeners in the past. I've had the opportunity to go to the studio that she recorded her albums with Jimmy Jim and Terry Lewis. I've gone for the
Hmm.
tour. I've actually had the wonderful pleasure to interview um, uh, Jimmy Jam, and that was at a Grammy event, and it was
Yeah.
just wonderful. But my ties to Michael Jackson run deep, from being a child growing up in White Plains to watching Thriller on MTV all those years ago, and
Yeah.
here he is number two. I'm really surprised that he's number two on the chart, but we got to give our props to Lauryn Hill for making that number one best album of all times.
Yeah.
But two is not about a bad place to be.
Look at that. We got to talk to you more often. You know a whole lot about what's going on in the business, huh?
I try, Dr. Bob, I try.
Yeah. And now, being in radio, of course, you experience a lot of people coming into the studios, and we go out to different venues and we meet a lot of people. Who are some of the people that you've met along the way?
Wow, I've had the pleasure to have a really in-depth conversation with Kanye West. I have met Mariah Carey on several occasions, Janet Jackson,
Yeah.
everybody from Wu Tang, Run DMC. There, New Edition. The list is endless. Thank God, I've had this
Yeah.
wonderful career and opportunity to really um, have some wonderful conversations. And then not only that, but just to have conversations with our very own Yonkers, Westchester, Mary J. Blige,
Yeah.
Heavy D. I've had conversations with LL. I mean, New York is number one in my book when it comes to hip hop, so I'm a fan for life.
Did you tell that to your husband?
He does know this. But I
Because he's
want
from
to
the South,
say
but he understands New York too, right?
he understands. He gets me. He gets me. Dr. Bob, I'm sure you know that. When you're in a relationship, they know what we do. They know
That's
what
right.
what our passions are.
Yeah. Well, big up to your husband. I'm sure he supports you 100% in everything that you
Yes.
do. I see a lot of the pictures behind you.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the people behind you.
So here's a
Oh,
photo.
that's
I don't know if you can see this one here. This is all of Run DMC. We had them come in for an event, which was amazing.
yeah.
Run actually signed it. So this really is one of my favorite pictures because one year in high school, me and two of my other girlfriends went during Halloween. We actually went as Run DMC. So this is this is monumental to me. And we wore the same outfits that they were.
Yeah.
Here's Mariah Carey, Janet Jackson here. Here's a photo with Janet Jackson and I. On this side, here
Uh,
is Little Kim and I. Just wonderful reminders of my career throughout the music industry and radio.
and then Missy's up there on your left-hand side, or your
Yes.
left
So
shoulder.
I've got Missy Elliott here. I've got she actually signed this for me because of course I broke this record and I'm
Uh-huh.
just so thrilled about that. That was in 2004. You got T.I. up here,
Uh-huh.
Joe. You got all of the records from 50 Cent, Tupac, uh, Lloyd Banks, Common. It's just, and
Yeah.
then up here is Lil Wayne. It's just it's been a blessing. It really has.
So, but you've written for a number of people?
No, I don't write. Let's make that very clear.
Uh,
I barely sing in the shower. Like I'm not, but what I can tell you is I can pick a hit record for sure.
yeah.
And so thanks for my wonderful talent in being able to hear a really good song and the passion behind it. I built a wonderful career in the radio industry as a music director.
Are you looking to get back into? Would you do it? Take that step back into radio?
Whew. Now you know good and well that passion never dies, Dr. Bob. You know you own the mic for life, right, Dr. Bob? You can't pull yourself away from it. And I do dabble. I want to tell you that. But yes, I would definitely go back in. But I would prefer to just do a quick shift, get in, get out, because I'm a mom now. And I really, really do like the freedom of music consulting and having
Wow.
conversations and pretty much talking to you.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you're in the know. What artists should we be looking forward to seeing on the come up?
Oh, that's a good question. So, you know, one of my favorites coming out of Atlanta right now is Amaretta. She is, and she's been in the game for quite some time. The only thing is that she hasn't quite crossed over into the
Mm-hmm.
mainstream market, but she's amazing. You can totally find her on the Instagram platform. She's been up to radio in New York before. She has interviews and performances all over YouTube, so you can't miss her. Please look for her. But she is a really, really good female MC, and I think given the opportunity, she would really go far. I think that she's a contender with Cardi B.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she's a contender really for a lot of female hip hop artists. I know that a lot of people are into JT, City Girls. Amaretta ranks up there. On the music scene, you know who I would like to see come back? I really would like to see another record come from Jacob Lattimore. I know he's crossed over working on The Shy, but he's such a talented singer.
Yeah, yeah.
And I really, really champion R&B to come back. I would love to hear a record from Joe. I think he's vital to the culture. Has always
Uh-huh.
been a wonderful crooner. But we need R&B, and I'm talking like what BLS used to play. Like that's what I want to hear. I want to hear that again.
Man, we should come together and do a podcast or something. I don't
Well,
know.
I'm ready, Dr. Bob.
Where can we find more information on you? Website,
Thank you for
social?
asking. Yes. Yes, you can actually find me on Instagram under On Air with Tosha Love. That's Tosha. The O is for originality, I like to say. But yeah, you can find me right there. And I'm also on the X platform under the same name.
Thank you, Tasha. The dime piece of radio in the house. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bob. I really appreciate talking to you. And it's been a pleasure growing up listening to you on air. I really do value you.
Let's talk more, okay?
I look
Thanks for
forward
coming
to it.
on. All
Thank you
right.
for having me.
You're welcome. All right, we'll take a quick break right here. I've got a whole lot more coming your way next right here on Open.